Jimmy the Bear, Aaron Bay, Jimmy the Bear, they hit it. Jimmy, I reckon it's a photo that. But passive aggressive coming clear, will remain undefeated. What a talent. Passive aggressive, soft at the end, has won it.
Welcome back to my channel for the Sandown Hillside Racing preview for this week, and a couple of horses do look very, very hard to beat. Let's get into the preview and find some winners, because I think there's a lot to be found, and one that I'm very keen on that is way over the odds in the last. Race 1 at Sandown Hillside is a Super Vobis 2-year-old handicap over the 1,000 metres to start the day, and I'm with Winning Revolution. The old guard combined here in Peter Moody and Luke Nolan, and they've got Winning Revolution here, and I think that's what this horse can do, win, because he's had 2 starts for a second and last start a first, beating Euros, who is the second favourite here, and arguably should be 2 from 2 because he had to make H2O work to get the win on debut, and then went to sale and was a very, very strong winner. And Luke Nolan rode him, and it's at his second start. Euros for second is for trainers Anthony and Sam Freeman. Elite trainers are 2-year-olds, and Mark Zara does ride. Has ridden the horse on one occasion at the Valley, running third behind Count the Headlights earlier this year. They're there in Whiskey Hangover for third and fourth pick, both over the odds, 41 and 18 respectively. But I'm with Winning Revolution in the first. I'm hoping Luke Nolan can ride the winner, $25 the win. Race number 2 at Sandown Hillside is over the 1,000 metres, again for the sprinters, and I'm with Ashford Street for T.O. Nugent. This horse, he outrode his claim on T.O. Nugent, and I think he can go back-to-back on the horse with 56 kilos. Look, I think it's his race to lose. Ranning's the biggest danger, but is carrying big weight in 58 kilos, sorry. Starry Legend for third. Jai McNeil on 54 is enticing, but I don't think is going to be getting there. And William Thomas, I had this horse on top last start, and was a little bit disappointing, though considering they couldn't make up ground, I think I'm going to forgive him for the run. He is my full selection at $71, and he is over the odds. But I'm with Ashford Street to go back-to-back, and T.O. Nugent to ride his second winner as a senior, $10 the win. Race number 3 at Sandown Hillside is a benchmark 7-8 handicap for the mares over 1,600 metres, and I'm very keen on Parisian Dancer here. She's had 10 starts for the 3 wins and 4 seconds, 3 from 3 on heavy ground, and at the distance only missing a top 2 spot once. And last up was ridden by Declan Bates, carrying 59 kilos. Does go up 1 kilo from last start, but I don't think it's going to worry the horse. It does draw out wide in barrier 10, which I do like this horse being drawn wide. Kiss and Cry for second. Lewis German jumps aboard, takes 2 kilos off, bringing the weight down to 57 kilos. Loves Sandown Hillside, 3 starts for a win and a third. Enjoys heavy ground, though the distance of the 1,600 metres is the query, but I think can still run well. Miltilda for third, and Rizzuto for fourth. That was hard to say. It will be improved because she's a import coming over and is now being trained by Peter Moody. But I'm with Parisian Dance in the third, $35 the win, and is one of my extreme best bets. Race number 4 at Sandown Hillside is a Super Vobis 3-year-old handicap over the 1,600 metres, and I'm with Star of Chaos. Absolutely bolted in last start at Lakeside, which is just over the road by 7 lengths, which was a very good win with 60.5 kilos. It's scary to think what this horse is going to be able to do with 55 kilos. 1 from 1 at the distance, and has a 1 start at Sandown Hillside for no placings, though I don't think that's going to be a worry. And 1 start at the on the heavy for a win. I think this horse is going to be way too good here. Lana Kelly rode it last start and is riding it again here, and it's going to just be winning for my Star of Chaos. Bold Hi Ho for second. At 650 does probably represent some value and is 2 from 2. Per Billy again for Patrick Payne carrying 54.5. Has had one start on heavy ground for a win, but hasn't seen the 1600 meter start before. Though last start did win over the 1400 meters. It does go up 200 meters to the 1600 meters and gets a lot of weight off from last start, from previously carrying 59.5 kilos. But 0 for 4th is over the odds at $19, and Hop On Harry has the elation form at $9.50. But I'm with Star of Chaos in the 4th race, $16 to win. Race number 5 at Sandown Hillside is a 3-year-old filly's benchmark 78 handicap over the 1300 metres, and I'm with Unusual Culture for Kieran Meyer and David Hughes with Ethan Brown to ride. It's an import, formerly raced in New Zealand, and having placed at its last two starts at Group 3 level. Hasn't seen a heavy track, though I think that's not going to worry this horse. It's had 3 starts for each placing, 1, 2, 3, and I think it's going to be winning here. Has just panels on this field. I mean, if you're a Group 3 placer going up against, like this field, you're just going to be winning in my mind. A Dallimore for second has been very good winning his past couple of last start, and has had 2 wins for the campaign this time around, and does love this course. 3 starts for a win, second and a third. Cur Royale, if this was a good track, he would almost be my top selection, and for real life for 4th, but I'm very keen on Unusual Culture in the 5th. Race number 6 at Sandown Hillside is a benchmark 78 handicap over the 2400 metres, and I am with Filo Star. Now, I've been on this horse this last couple of starts, and I've been very impressed with what it's done. It's had 7 starts for 2 wins, a second and 3 thirds, only missing a place once. Michael D to ride with 55.5 kilos, carried 56.5 last start, so gets 1.5 kilos off its last start where Michael did ride it, and it won on that occasion by around a length, and that was on soft ground, so it'll handle the wet. And I'm very keen on it here. Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott, you can never underestimate their styles. Gate Crash for second. Billy Egan and Paddy Payne again. Likes this track, 2 starts for a win and a second, and has had experience on heavy ground. 1 start for a win. Monbahar for third is a chance, and Mimi's Award finally getting up to a suitable distance of the 2400 metres is over the odds at $23. But I'm with Filo Star in the 6th. $25 the win. Race number 7 at Sandown Hillside is a benchmark 78 handicap over the 1600 metres. Now, when I do the form, I ask myself a question. Who handles the distance, the conditions, and who's going to run the best race? And I have the answer to those 3 questions in my top tip here, and that is Chief Altony, because he loves the distance of the 1600 metres, 5 starts for 2 wins, 2 seconds and a third, 1 start at Sandown Hillside for a win, and 3 starts on heavy ground for 2 wins and a third. This horse at $8 is way over the odds. I think he should be running the price of Visionary, or probably even shorter, because I think this horse is absolutely going to bolt in. Carried 63.5 kilos last start, though Tommy Stockdale probably took a couple of kilos off. And he does ride again here, and he does carry 60 kilos, so I think he can get it done. He was only... I think he can get it done, Chief Altony here. Visionary for second was game, chasing Sir Davy last start at Caulfield, though hasn't seen a heavy track yet, and is a query at 1600 metres, though has had one very impressive win at Sandown Hillside. Falls an upswing over the odds of 21 and 51. Particularly falls for Damien Oliver. I think that this horse is going to run a very, very strong race, because it does love heavy ground and does love Sandown Hillside, and will be improved further. But I'm with Chief Altony in the 7th, 45 to win. One of my extreme best bets, and one I'm very keen on in the 7th. Race 8 at Sandown Hillside. It's a benchmark 84 handicap over the 1,300 metres, and I think Jigsaw for Michael Walker can go 3 on the bounce. This horse provided Michael Walker with his first city winner back. First winner back and his first city winner back, and I think he can provide him with another city winner here. Has had one start on heavy ground. It was a failure, though has had 6 starts on soft ground for 4 wins and a third, so I think he'll handle the wet ground. And he's only been gelded for 2 starts, and he's won both of them since being gelded. So I think he can go on with it here and win, because he's drawn better than last start in gate 15. He's got gate 1 on the weekend, and I think he'll be too good for this field. He's our Bonneval for second. He's the interesting horse here. Comes into the race with a lot of overseas form, and is coming into this gelded, and has had mostly all of his racing on soft tracks. But I'll be looking for him second or third up, and I think this is just going to be a prep run, though, like I said, is coming back down. B Hunter is a good chance, and Sir Galahad over the odds at $34. But I'm with Jigsaw in race 8 at Sandown Hillside. Race number 9 at Sandown Hillside is over the 1,800 metres, and I'm with Parisian here. He's way over the odds at $16, and I think he can win this. Logan McNeil takes 3 kilos off, bringing the weight down to 58.5 kilos. That's more than a winnable weight for this horse. And last start, when resuming, he resumed over 1,700 and was third behind Skyman at Flemington. And I think he can go 2 better and win on resumption here. Grand Promenade for second is already a proven first up performer, and does love Sandown, having 3 starts at the track for a win in 2/3. Query is the heavy ground, though. Mankind for third has been running really well, and will really love this surface and this trip. And he's a shocker. Was a surprise winner first up. You're not getting the same odds as you did then at over $50. But I still think he can run well. But I'm with Parisian, $35 the win in the last. The Kieran David Eustace runners prominent in my selections. Thank you for watching my preview for Sandown Hillside Racing this weekend. I hope you've enjoyed the preview. I hope you back some winners, and I hope Parisian wins the last as my best value of this card. But thank you for watching. See you next week.